Haha, hello everybody, hello. I stumbled across True Pooka, who's an atheist over there, which actually I've listened to some of his work. He's getting to be what I'd consider to be cutting edge on his work, at least in actually doing game theory and philosophy, actually try. He's not the amazing atheist. He's not the hacks and the commenters. He's not. Far from it. He is most definitely not. Which is good. Now, if I wanted to categorize myself as anything, okay, I would say I'm Socratian in basic philosophy, which is really easy. I know I don't know, with the caveat that I know you don't know because you don't even fucking try. Okay? That's really easy. Now, I'm going to go try. And when I find that not only can I not, nobody else can, I'm going to come back and say, okay, everybody stop across the board. You, and you. You're all full of shit. This is how, and this is why. Everything grinds to a halt. I'm not a fan of the corporate company religions. However, they serve their purpose of social cohesion. They most assuredly do that. Okay. I am a fan of Mr. Jesus Christ. Okay. I am a fan of his. Now, this would be in the man model, not religious aspects. Okay. Because we've done the work. Y'all have already done the work with Constantine, King James, the Judaics, the Persians, the Magi, and Manes and the Manichaeans. You've already done that work in that, right? You've already been keeping and going. You're not stopping and saying, okay, I know everything because I fucking said so. No, that's an atheistic argument. That's a science argument. That's a shyster's argument. I know you don't do that. I know you don't do that because you keep trying. It's when you stop trying and say, hey, I said so, that's why. Well, welcome to mankind and the huckster, because that's exactly what they do. Okay, anyway. His last video on how to debate theists. Now, let me explain to you something. The farce of debate and arguing. There is nothing here. It does not exist. Any economic model or any other model that you present in order to buffer your side or your argument is bullshit. It's bullshit. It's completely man-made, and it has nothing to do with the real world. The tree and the rock do not give a fuck about your explanation of the tree or the rock. That's very simple, okay? Now, from this point forward, you can proceed to try. Okay, trying is not what Darwin and the others did. They did social reconstruction, as was clearly shown in Fruit of the Family Tree, the book that I put up, and the others, okay, that are well known. It was an attempt for social cohesion and behavior modification with the social sciences at the top, driving the actual physical sciences at the bottom. Now, I am uninterested in the evolution of a fish. I am not a fish. Thank you. I am uninterested in the evolution of all these other things. You cannot make a tree. This is the tree game theory. If you cannot make the tree using any tool of your choice, now I will add that there are acceptable answers that I will accept on that. Okay, if you were smart, if you take your time and think it through, there is so many answers there to actually answer the challenge, the theory, the work. Okay, that's the point. I put the challenge forward, make tree, win prize. Now, what you get on either side, theist or atheist, is simple. I know everything because I said so. Okay, now stop. The religionists say, I know everything because somebody else told me so. And as much as I enjoy True Pooka's work, he is the other side of that coin. I know so because somebody else told me so. That's correct. That is not logic, reason, or fact. That is a cop-out. That does not mean I do not like True Pooka. That does not mean he does not do good work in excellent game theory. However, he is trying to keep his position in gaming open. Also, I will never bitch at an atheist saying, I'm going to sit down and think this through. I am spouting baseless claims. Okay, on the religionist models, they do the same thing. Because I said so. I'm not going to think about it. I'm just going to, okay. Now, if you sit down and you use your actual fucking mind, you'll realize nobody knows. They're attempting to tie arbitrary, man-made social sciences with social theories that can only prove a very few things. They can't even prove monkeys evolve, kids. However, they can prove that humans interbreed with each other from different regions. I guess we'll call that evolution now, right? Yeah. You'll find that the, quote, evolution, unquote, in the physical sciences doesn't go nearly as far as you think. However, it's the social sciences that grab it and run for it. Run for the hills to support their arguments. I told you before, atheism cannot exist as an actual real-world argument whatsoever without tying itself to something. Because if it has nothing to hang on to, it sinks like the Titanic. All right. Pooka is correct with the majority of being theistic in this country, right? In this corporate division. You have to understand that they don't necessarily have to tie themselves to anything real world. However, they're not any more incorrect than an atheist. Okay, these are simply split down the middle, and they are divisive for a reason, though you know I don't believe in unity. I believe in individualism. When the split occurred, it's really easy. Okay, the one, atheism, has long since been corporatized as a model. Okay, and anything that you add to buoy that up doesn't actually do you any good, because you're starting to stack presumptions and fictions. Now, you know that and I know that. Go outside, make a tree. That's all you got to do. You cannot explain the tree. That is not making a tree. You can't do that. That's obvious fallacy. Make a tree. You cannot go take a seed from a tree and plant it and grow it. I didn't say I was a creationist. I said you can't do it. And I know for shit sure I can't do it. If I can't do it and you refuse to say, I have no fucking idea, I can't do it, well, that must mean you're God or gods or the creator or whatever. Feel free to just go ahead and do it. Because after all, only an atheist would say, it's fucking magic. Shit just happened. That's right. Shit happened is their argument. It just fucking happened. No big deal. Yeah. I want you to grab dice, roll them, and shit will happen. Evolution will happen, and you will get a monkey, that poops humans. Because after all, this is what we're talking about. Fiction versus reality. And the fact is, nobody was around for the evolutionary stages that they say happened. Therefore, it cannot be proved, and it cannot be disproved. However, it can be evidentiary, which is simply an inducement to adduce a fiction as a fact. That's all that is. It's to turn a fiction to a fact because they said so. That does not mean you hate them. That does not mean anything. It means you go, aha, that's a good one, man. Excellent. Make tree, win prize. No make tree, no win prize. And guess what they're not going to do? They're not going to make a tree or win a prize, okay? And you're not going to make a tree or win a prize. So, while they're sitting around, masturbating to the religion of no religion, and absolutely no logic or fact, what are we left with? Okay, now, again, let's back up. They do what I call the Alex Jones effect, and it's really easy. You take one or two completely separate facts and attempt desperately to tie them together. Now, it's not scientist Jim in his lab that does that. No, scientist Jim is doing real work. Polymers, let's say like nanocarbon tech. He's attempting to do real things. It's grabbed up by these social scientists that are attempting social reconstruction for a paycheck. So they can write books, get tenures. That's correct. Make YouTube videos. Indeed. Yes, indeed. That's why I love The Amazing Atheist. He does nothing. He presents nothing but fiction and fantasy. Because that's all he has to panda. Because it's only in his head. All right. That's right. So, they'll tell you, now, this is where they double back on themselves, on all sides. I hate to tell you this. And they say, well, it must be observable. Well, your observations, my friend, are as weak as your reason and your logic. I observed that you still have not made me a tree. So you will not win a prize. You will not make me a fucking tree. You just won't. It's like you refuse to make me a fucking tree. So, it's kind of obvious your logic, your reason, and your so-called fact that you are desperate to tie together is irrelevant. For you, sir, can only make plastic and metal pots and pans, but you cannot make life. Isn't that neat? They can clone it, they can copy it, they can modify it, but they cannot make it. Right? Correct. They cannot make it. Therefore, on the very face, they are incorrect in their reason and their so-called logic. It is called a fallacy, a delusion. Okay, if you want to get really down to it. And you will find these are the game theories that they do not want to deal with. All of you, I don't give a fuck what religion, what stripe, and what philosophy, like Stephen fucking Molyneux and the others. Make me a motherfucking tree and win a motherfucking prize. It'll be a stuffed, I don't know. I'll give you a tennis ball. How about that? That's about how important this argument is. And there again, that's what you got to realize. In the social sciences, it is about taking the most insignificant diminutive and turning it into the most large boulder in the road in order to hamper you. Otherwise, society would have simply moved on. People would have believed what they wanted or not. But you see, that would not have the requirements needed for social reconstruction, social cohesion, and behavior modification, would it? Negatory. Economics does not have anything to do with anything. It is fiction, and you know it. It is complete man-made fiction. It is presumptive at the highest and lowest orders. You know these things. Political economy is exactly the same. And you cannot disprove that because I get to point at Mr. Dog or Mr. Cat. Yeah, I get to point at caveman. Right, we evolved from Homo erectus. I'm sure you think we did, and I'm sure you still have not proved that. That is the beauty of the tree game theory. It is in your head. That's all it is. The tree don't give a fuck, and neither does a rock. Okay, and if it was magic pixies, it was. But I can tell you ain't no atheist ever going to figure it out. But let us remember, all sides of the fence, well, they just got to suck it up. Because they won't make me no fucking tree. Therefore, they will not win a prize. Everything outside that is irrelevant. And you'll find out that they focus only on things that are unprovable. It's just, it doesn't matter. Everything except that tree. Just step on out there. I'll wait on you, man. I'll cook us some steaks. If you want some fried taters, I don't know about, fried taters and Vidalia onions. Hell yeah. Man, with some grease gravy, you fucking ain't right. Maybe some sausage gravy. Sausage grease gravy. That's some good shit, man. And while I'm cooking out and everything, I'll talk to you, and you still won't make me that fucking tree, no matter how many times I ask. And you will defend a failing, non-existent position until we eat. And when we get done eating, I'll ask you again, make me that fucking tree. And you'll win yourself a fucking prize, but you still won't do it. You will do everything except that. When I present the fact, you will run away from the fact. Quishang. Right? That's right. Anyway, you'll do long jumps. You'll do flip-flops, some backflips. You'll even tell me it's subjective and objective as if that exists anywhere except inside your own fucking head. But you will not do that tree. You literally will not. For everything you told me the whole time we were eating that you knew for fucking certain, man, 'cause you said so. 'Cause you said so. But no tree. Never a tree. Anyway, kids, this one was just for Pooka, not that he cares. But the point was, still don't see no fucking tree. Alright, that's real easy. I still don't see, Pooka, you taking carbon, baseless, lifeless carbon, and giving me anything. I see you explaining around it with half-ass fictions that you cannot prove, like you going back in time in a time machine, or finding fossils that, there's just so many variables that are discounted in favor of the presumptions and the fictions. Oh, well, I guess we're going to stick with the old Dark Ages concept and not move forward. So, anyway, there you go, kids.